Hello, today I'm going to be reading a Jax one-shot, which is called A Game of Cat and Mouse. You sighed with content and at ease, finally finding some quiet time for yourself in the digital world you got yourself into. How, you may ask? Well, your memory is hazy, but you think you remember someone daring you to put on a weird headset, but then you realize that it was merely impossible to take off. Even during your first arrival, the periwinkle rabbit, Jax, got pissed that he saw another new sucker to redo the whole theme song again. You immediately didn't like him during your first day. Now, when you met the others as well, Kane had a strange mouth that seemed very off and slightly crazy with the power he had over this world. Honestly, he gave you the creeps after he showed you what the world has. As your little tour was done, you were honestly nervous meeting the others for the first time, but at least they seemed nice, you guessed. To put it in a summary, Pomni, after your little tour by Kane was done, you were honestly pretty nervous to meet the others for the first time, but at least they seemed nice. To put it in a small summary, Pomni, she was honestly happy to see a new face around here, but you could tell by her expression she was trying to stay calm. Maybe it was external dread. Ragatha, she was very welcoming to have you here. Who couldn't have asked for a better introduction? She was even kind enough to show you where your room was, so it was a nice bonus tour. Gangle, the poor thing, she seemed super happy to greet you, but then Jack shoved her. Her comedy mask fell and broke upon the floor, shattering in an instant. You even tried to help her with her mask, but she didn't want you to. She would feel bad otherwise. Is it really bad that you wanted to give her a hug? Kinger, okay, it was obvious to you that he's been here the longest. You could tell by the way he speaks, the way he acted, and his screaming whenever you tried to get his attention to talk to him, but he was always seemed kind of skittish, and maybe just, he seemed a little skittish. He even had occasional mental breakdowns, which you made a mental note to yourself to stay 6 feet away from him when that happened. Zubul, they seemed nice, you guessed. You could obviously tell that they didn't like you here, but who could blame them? They don't seem to mind you since you were new and whatnot. What's annoying to them, though, is that Jax would rip off their arm and use it as a back scratcher. Karma's a bleep, so they managed to choke Jax. Bubble, he was Kane's little assistant, or at least you think, because they would often say boss to Kane, so that would make sense, but whenever Kane gets super annoyed, he pops them. He pops them. Makes you feel slightly concerned by that. Lastly, Jax. If you were being honest, you really hate Jax and his stupid pranks and tricks. In a world like this, he's impervious to consequences, which makes your blood boil with rage. He doesn't show any concern or care at all, even with his sassy behavior. Even during your time here, he would often pull pranks on you just to get a reaction out of you. You think it was at that moment when you and Zubul agreed to spite him. When you were done reminiscing, you felt a presence behind you, but you were not going to let your guard down this time. You were prepared with special training. You swiftly moved to the side as Jax tried to pull you, letting out a laugh. Nice try, jackass, you said with a smug smirk, and pushed him aside, making him stumble a little. Oh, come on, that's not fair. I didn't even get to push you first. Why? So you can drench me in water again? You were not amused by his words. Maybe. He grinned while walking towards you. Look, Jax, I'm not in the mood for your stupid pranks, and no, I'm not gonna join you on your stupid pie games again. Last time I joined, I was the target for your careless attitude against me and everyone you have here. You remember still smelling like custard after many pies were thrown at you. Cain did nothing about it, so your doubts and trust in Cain have wavered ever so slightly. Jax chuckled to himself, remembering the memory fondly. You frowned at him with a furrowed brow. It's not funny. It is to me, Jax said. He was such an ass, and there's nothing you would like more than to wipe that stupid shit-eating grin off of his face. What the fuck do you want this time? You looked away from him, crossing your arms. I just wanted to see my favorite target and why she's out here all alone near the lake. He leaned towards you, still wearing that grin. You groaned and rubbed your forehead. Jax, please. This is the only time I get to myself, and I don't want any more of your bullshit. Come on, sweetheart. It's nothing too bad. I just wanted to see your reaction to my presence. If it's too, he soon cut you off with his finger against your lips, shushing you. No, nothing like that this time. I just thought we could play another game. His tone seemed devious, to say the least. You glared at him and bit his finger. Hey! He retracted his hand, not liking the way you bit him. Fuck off with your games already. Can't you tell I'm not in the mood for them? Well, somebody is in a grumpy mood today. How about I make it all go away? He gave you a flirty look and you just glared back at him. Fuck you and fuck off, you whiny bitch. Jax doesn't seem fazed by your grumpy mood, almost as if he enjoyed your annoyance itself. Tell you what, sweetie, how about we make a deal? He leaned further in on you, placing his elbow on your shoulder. Oh, now you want to suggest making deals like the devil would? You rolled your eyes, basically giving up on fighting against him using you as a stool. He chuckled at your retort. You could say. He checked his gloved hand, continuing to speak. If you play my game, I will stop bothering you for as long as you need. This seems skeptical. Him offering me to be alone for once? What's the catch, you ask? Well, since you mentioned that, I don't mind getting a kiss from you. Absolutely not. You slapped his arm away from your shoulder. He chuckled again, raising his arms in defense. I'm just kidding, calm your cheery face down a notch. You huffed at him, pouting angrily. Anyways, I was wondering if you'd like to play a game of cat and mouse? Huh? You look at him, clearly confused. Could you run that by me again? Cat and mouse. He repeated the words one by one, enjoying your confused expression. I don't get it. You seriously never heard of it? Just how far behind are you? Hey, screw off. I've been here for some time now and my memory's very hazy. You defended, clearly outraged at his careless behavior, giving him a shove, and he laughed a little. Aw, you're so cute when you're mad. He booped your nose, making you slightly blush. You're lucky this is a digital world, so I can't stab you right on the spot. Sorry, you're stuck with me. Get used to it. He placed his hands on his head. I've only been here a few months, so fucking stop. I will if you join my game, he said in a flirty tone. Fine, if it'll get you to stop being a douche to me. You rolled your eyes. Great. He beamed, satisfied that you will finally give in to his stupid game. You resisted the urge to strangle him right then. So, how does this game work exactly? You ask, clearly not wanting to give any enthusiasm to his delight. Well, from what I've heard or remember, it's where one player gets to play as a cat and the other gets to be a mouse. The mouse would obviously run away from the cat and hide. The game doesn't end until the time is out or they manage to catch the mouse successfully, he explained, still keeping a stupid grin on. Wait, is this an excuse to tackle me down? You ask skeptically, narrowing your eyes at him. Maybe. And believe me when I say, I would love to have other players as well, but they'll just be party poopers and ruin the fun. He rolled his eyes. You sighed in defeat, not wanting to deal with anyone's complaints or bickering about Jax again. Last time you got one was from Zubul, and they lost their arm again. Jax had one time managed to seal a hand with tape and so it doesn't strangle him again, but sadly it was short-lived and you found it and removed the tape. Since then, you and Zubul became good friends and shared your hatred about Jax. Fuck. Fine, so who's gonna be the cat? You ask, your eyes clearly showing no enthusiasm whatsoever. In fact, more like a dead fish. He grinned and shoved you to the ground. Not it! He triumphantly laughed and started running away. Hey, that's not fair, you jackass! You yelled. What was that? I can't hear you. You screamed with rage as you began to chase after him, trying to catch up to him, but it was obvious due to your different height differences that he has long legs and you have average height of what you are the average height of a woman, so your legs aren't that long. Slow down, you dickhead. Nuh-uh, you'll have to keep trying if you want to get speed like mine, sweet cheeks, he shouted back at you. Ugh! You kept chasing after him, wanting to slap him on the head so bad. After a little chase and jumping over multiple obstacles... Ugh, where are you? You were now on top of the castle, gazing over the area like a lion looking over the Pride Lands. You lost something again? You heard Zubul walking up next to you. Zubul! You said with a relieved smile. Have you seen Jax? You asked. They groaned as they rolled their eyes. May I ask why you're looking for him? I thought you hated him. Oh, I do, and I still do to this very day. It's just, he dragged me into this stupid game, and due to my height and his long legs and speed, I lost sight of him. But I refused to let that stupid bunny win. You gripped your hand into a fist, swearing vengeance upon him. They found a pair of binoculars and looked through them. How did you miss that? Found him. They handed the binoculars to you and pointed in a direction. You looked through to see Jax, hunched over as if he was lost of his breath. But this is the digital world, so how is he out of breath? Yes, you often question the logic of this world. How the flip do I get over there? Zubul cleared their throat loudly. You turned to them, feeling curious all of a sudden. What is it? Think this will do? We saw a paraglide set up, almost as if it were convenient to glide from the castle. Yes, thank you, Zubul. You thanked them. You couldn't tell due to the lack of mouth, but they smiled at you. Just be sure to kick his ass for me. No need to tell me twice. You flashed them a cocky smile as you grabbed the rails of the paraglide and rushed off the castle, gliding carefully. Whoa! You felt the wind flowing through your hair, enjoying the view overlooking you. So this is what it's like to glide. You laughed loudly, causing Kinger to look up at you and flip out. Hearing him scream made you raise an eyebrow, but you shrugged it off and flew over to your target. You narrowed your eyes as he was about to prank Pomni. Bonsai! You let go of the paraglide, diving after Jax. Huh? Oh my god! He got tackled down by you. You placed your hands on his shoulders, grinning at him. I win! You shout proudly. Look who's not playing fair now. Huh? You look at him, confused again. What's that supposed to mean? You clearly... Oh, what are you two doing? Ragatha questioned. Just playing our love game of cat and mouse. He answered, clearly enjoying this. Love game? You asked, clearly baffled by his trickery. Come on. I had to get you to show your love for me one way or another. I know you're not always heartless, darling. He booped your nose again, making you even more embarrassed. I'm not in love with you, you shout angrily, clearly in denial. You say that now, but I know you can't resist my charms. He then gave you a kiss on the nose, causing you to fall silent in shock. This was a perfect opportunity for him to slip out and evade. See you later, losers. You placed your fingertips on your nose, having mixed feelings about this. Don't let him get you, Star. Remember, he just wants to see your reaction, Ragatha said. Then why did he just kiss her on the nose like that? Pomni questioned, raising a finger. With no thoughts left in your brain, you find yourself smiling gently, giving into that kind of love a little. Maybe he likes to tease me more than a few ways at once. Ragatha and Pomni looked at you with confused expressions. Star! Kinger shouted loudly, running up to you. You snapped out of your trance. How did you manage to fly like that? You don't even have wings. And so, the rest of the day was you trying to explain to Kinger that you literally don't have wings at all, and Jax was leaving you alone as well. Huh? Maybe he's not as bad as you thought. The end.